Hi everyone, and welcome back to another segment of The Right Sites. And today I'm going to take you to one of my most favorite places in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's the 49-story high Carew Tower. So stick around, you won't want to miss this. And as always, if you have not subscribed yet to our channel, please do so. It is totally free of charge, and it really helps us out. Also, what would really help us out if you would hit that like button, as well as make a comment. That drives the YouTube analytics and gets our videos seen all across the world. And that too is free of charge. Now let me take you to the historic Carew Tower in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio. So I've made my way down to the center of downtown Cincinnati on Fountain Square. And behind me is the Carew Tower, the 49-story high building. Now, the building itself, the construction started in 1929 and only took 12 months to create. They had men and women working 24 hours around the clock. And it consists of the 49-story office complex as well as a hotel that's still in use today that's about 30 stories high. Now, the history of the Carew Tower is very interesting. A guy named John Emery, it was his brainchild, but he could not get the funding for it, and so in September of 1929 he withdrew all his investments in the stock market, $30 million, to construct the hotel and office complex itself. And if you know your history, just a month later the stock market crashed, and so this hotel was able to be built. So that's a pretty fascinating piece of history that, you know, I just can't make up. Well, actually, I could make that up, but I'm not making that up. John Emery would have been broke a month later if he didn't invest in this hotel. Now, the Carew Tower is really an Art Deco masterpiece. If you don't know much about Art Deco, please look it up online. Just spend 5 or 10 minutes studying it and you will be impressed. But Art Deco was a form of architecture, clothing designs, car designs, all sorts of designs that got popular back in the 1920s. And it was very popular in the 20s and the 30s. Now, what Art Deco is the use of very bold colors like silvers and golds, and also geometric designs. And every single major city in the world has multiple buildings in the Art Deco nature. And so the Carew Tower is just a fascinating look at this design, the Art Deco design. Now, when coming down to the Carew Tower, I would suggest going in the north entrance. That's right behind me. And surrounding the north entrance is a great example of Art Deco architecture. So let's take a look on the inside now, and let me show you how the Carew Tower is a true Art Deco masterpiece. So the entrance that I would go into is, I believe this is the east side of the Carew Tower. The reason I would choose this entryway is because what surrounds it. Look at the gold motif designs that surrounds this entire entrance. Much like the Art Deco design of the time, it usually is all about kind of human progress and how we have modernized in the world. And so take a really good close look at these murals, and it really kind of dates Cincinnati from the time of the early pioneers to steamboats all the way up until the modern age of the 1920s. So this is a great place to start your tour of the Carew Tower and just kind of admire this entrance before going in. So let's go ahead and go on into the Carew Tower, and I will show you around. first thing to do when you come into the Carew Tower is go right into the center part of the tower, into this kind of grand lobby. And the first thing I would do is to take a look at the history. In fact, behind me they have some permanent displays telling you how the Carew Tower was built. So let me show you those displays and you can get a really good feel of what the Carew Tower is all about. These are some permanent historical displays that are always at the Carew Tower. And so you can spend really just about an hour or so reading about its history. So if you're not really familiar with the Carew Tower, this is a great place to start. There are about 5 columns of information that highlight the history of the Carew Tower. And one of those that we're going to focus on today in this video segment is the Art Deco style of the building. And this particular column kind of describes what Art Deco is all about and how the Carew Tower is a prime example of that. So start your visit to the Carew Tower by just introducing yourself to the Carew Tower and its Art Deco style of architecture. I am now on the second floor of the Carew Tower overlooking the grand lobby here at the main entrance. And this is a great place to see the true Art Deco design of its time. Surrounding the walls are these sterling silver Art Deco designs. This is really typical of the period. Also, the entrances are surrounded by these beautiful tiles. And these tiles were made from the Rookwood Pottery Factory here in Cincinnati, which is a world famous pottery maker that existed here for years. And so you can spend several minutes just looking around this lobby and just taking in this amazing beauty of this building and its Art Deco design. Once you get done exploring the lobby of this beautiful building, you're going to want to make your way to the hotel area. And the hotel is absolutely amazing. It has all of its original designs and you will be just inspired by its beauty. So let's take a quick walk. It's only just a few feet probably. In fact, the lobby connects to the hotel. So I'll take you down there, I'll show you around. Be sure to look at all the pictures that are hanging around the hotel, as well as this Art Deco design. A lot of famous people have spent time in the hotel area of the Carew Tower. So this is the lobby of the hotel, and it is absolutely beautiful. Look at the lights that are hanging all through the hotel lobby. Has the rich mahogany wood that surrounds these big postal beams here. This is real typical Art Deco design. One of the things that strikes me when I visit the Carew Tower is it feels like you're back into the 1920s and 30s. You can imagine just the busyness of this place during those times, during its first decades of opening. As a part of the hotel is the Orchids Restaurant, and the time I'm here today it is closed, opens up at 4 p.m. But this at one time was actually a terminal for the buses here in Cincinnati. So it was a major terminal, and after buses quit being used for transportation, they turned this into a beautiful restaurant. Now if you'll notice, all around here is the typical Art Deco style of design. They have these beautiful murals that surround the tops of the walls and ceilings. And then down at the very end is kind of like a stage area with a fountain behind it. So again, the Orchids is open to the public starting at 4 p.m. You can come here and enjoy a meal and also just enjoy the beautiful Art Deco design of this building. As you walk through the building, just kind of take your time. Look at just how much intricacy is put into the design of these. Here's a little doorway. Now, it cost about $33 million in 1929, 1930 to build this hotel. I'm told that in today's standards, that would be about $500 million. But I think to actually put this kind of design into a building today would probably be much, much higher than $500 million. So I'm on the second floor now overlooking the restaurant, and you're not going to want to miss this. This is so cool to kind of make your way around the corner here, and you can get an absolutely beautiful view of the restaurant. Look at this. So this looks like just a great place to spend an evening having a great meal and enjoying these beautiful historical surroundings. Walking through this building is really like walking through a living museum. So take your time. You could easily spend a couple of hours, maybe even more, walking through this beautiful hotel and lobby complex, just admiring its artwork. There are just almost countless places that you can wander around, just in kind of like the corners of the building, and see just beautiful design. Look at these elevators, for example. These elevator doors are stainless steel cut design, and they are just beautiful. So be sure just to explore. If you walk down through here, let me show you something else that's really cool. You kind of come up behind the restaurant. You can kind of get up on this little platform and look down to the main lobby. See more of these beautiful gold motifs. And then right over here is that fountain area of the restaurant. So the fountain's not going right now, but this is the original design of this fountain. And then you can kind of look over into the restaurant. So just take your time, explore, and see all the beautiful places in the Carew Tower. Again, just take your time and walk around. Look at this beautiful chandelier right at the end of this hallway. This is at the entrance. I believe this would be the west side of the hotel. But look how grand that chandelier is. So again, this hotel is like walking through a museum. And one of the things you will not want to miss is on the third floor, the grand ballroom called the Hall of Mirrors. So I'm going to make my way up there right now, show you where it's located. I highly doubt that the doors will be unlocked. They usually aren't. I had a manager here once see me looking around, and he took me inside the Hall of Mirrors, and it was really nice. In fact, we're in luck. Look at this. The Hall of Mirrors is open today. Looks like they're getting ready to have an activity. Now this is kind of the crown jewel of the building. And it is a beautiful place called the Hall of Mirrors because it's designed after the Versailles Palace in France. But look how beautiful this room is. And many, many dignitaries have been here. In fact, there's a picture of John F. Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy over here on the right side of the building, or the wall here. They sat right there at a dinner they were having here in Cincinnati. If you look up on the ceiling, you'll see a beautiful Art Deco ceiling. All right, so this is a real treat to be able to be in the Hall of Mirrors. When I talked to a manager a few years ago, he told me just to unlock the doors to rent this space was $50,000. That does not include the mill or anything else. So I'm not sure if that's still true today or not, but it's a very, very great place, a unique place to hold an event like a wedding. So now I am at the other end of the Hall of Mirrors. On the stage area, this used to be a big band area. In fact, Doris Day at age 15 got her start here. She sang here when she was 15 years old. Doris Day was a native of Cincinnati. Look at the stairway that goes up to the balcony area. Notice the railing. Stainless steel Art Deco railing. So let's just go up here. I'll show you around where they would also put tables up here to eat at behind these big doors. But look just how beautiful this room is. Notice the chandeliers hanging from the ceilings, the artwork on the corners that meet the walls and the ceilings. An absolutely beautiful room here at the Carew Tower. So hopefully when you come down to visit the Carew Tower, this room will be open and you can really take in just the beauty of this building. So now I've made my way up to the 4th floor of the hotel. And you won't want to miss this. In fact, I think we got lucky again. I'm going to take you inside one of the coolest rooms in this building. It's called the Pavillion. Now notice the grand entrance here, very typical of Art Deco design. If you look at the right side, you can see the history of this room. So take a moment and read about this room. Now the Pavillion was designed to look like the nightclub of the largest ocean liner of the day, the SS Leviathan. And if you look around the room, notice the details. You basically have 3 levels and then a big light fixture that's meant to look like it's suspending from the ceiling. So that's really cool. Now here's my favorite part of the room. Along the walls are about 5 porthole looking designs, and each porthole has a sunburst lighting fixture. Once again, this is very Art Deco and it's really cool. The designers wanted to make it look like it felt you were on the world's most luxurious ocean liner. So make sure you come up to the 4th floor and look at the Pavillion. Also, a must-see site when you're visiting the Carew Tower is the observation deck, located right on the top of the building. Right now, it's not open. As of December 2021, it closed back in the spring of 2020 due to the COVID panic and has not reopened yet. Hopefully, it will reopen one day. Now, to get to the observation deck, it's about as much fun as being on top because they don't have an elevator that goes all the way to the top. Back in those days when they built this building, they didn't think about putting observation decks. It wasn't until much later. Now to get there, you simply get on the main elevators right off the east entrance, and you go up to the 45th floor. And then once you get to the 45th floor, you have to take kind of a service elevator or the steps all the way up to the 49th floor where you can get on the roof. And I think the typical admission charge is about $5. I've been there several times, and it's really worth the $5 to see the beautiful scenery all the way around this area of Ohio. You can look out over the city. You can see the Ohio River, northern Kentucky in the background, and also all parts of downtown Cincinnati. So when you visit the Carew Tower, make sure to make your way up to the observation deck. So I hope you've enjoyed this segment of The Right Sites. Be sure to like and subscribe and make a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. of the Carew Tower. So when visiting downtown Cincinnati, make sure to come down to the Art Deco masterpiece of Cincinnati, Ohio, the Carew Tower.